So for those of you who haven't done HIIT yoga before, this is, as it says, high intensity training, but we're using yoga based movements to do that. So it's your fitness class out of the 5 that I offer. Today's format, so we've got a new year, new range of classes and some new sequences to enjoy. So today's format is building strength and stability for the first, let me just check that I've put the camera on, sorry. Yeah, I have. So today, the new format for this year, we're going to have the 3 rounds as usual with 5 movements. You're going to be moving for 45 seconds, resting in between each movement for 25 seconds, and then you're going to have a minute's rest in between each round. So you get 2 minutes rest in total. So the format for the rounds today is going to be strength and stability to start for the first round. We're then going to look at conditioning, so this is your cardio, calorie burning stuff. And then we're going to focus on the core as well, so you're building a nice strong core to support your body from day to day as well. So it's all about functional fitness for everyday wellness and living. Cool. So for today's session, you won't need anything at all, just some space on the floor and a mat if you have one, and we'll just begin with a quick warm-up. So if you come to the center or the front of your mats, and we'll just begin by rolling our shoulders back and down. Let me put my screen on full, because I've just realized you probably can't see. Let me spotlight myself. There we go. Cool. So just roll your shoulders back and down, maybe 5 times backwards, and then 5 times forwards. So really hunch those shoulders up into your ears. Get the joints nice and warm, and then just come back to center. We're going to inhale as we lift one arm up high, reaching up tall. Exhale, reach over to the other side. Inhale, back to center, switching over the arms. Exhale, reach over to the other side. We're just going to do 5 rotations on each side. Always inhaling to find that length and lifting, and then exhaling to reach and fold. Last one on each side. And then just come back to center, take the arms out wide, and we're going to twist to look behind us as we let the arms wrap around the body and just land wherever you want. So probably hitting the top of your shoulder and the back where your kidney roughly is. We're just going to do 5 to 8 rotations on each side. See if you can find that length as you come through, or lift as you come through the midsection. Start to warm the body up, get it moving. 1 more each side. And then slowly come back to center. So from here, we're going to come back to our Tadasana pose. Inhale to extended Tadasana, reaching up tall with those hands. Bend at the knees just slightly, and then hinge at the hips as you come all the way down into your Uttanasana forward fold. So as it's the first one of the day, we're bending at the knees, drawing the chest over the thighs. Crown of the head comes towards the ground, and then just take opposite hand to opposite elbow. And you can swing from side to side, rock back and forth. Bounce up and down, whatever you need. Just think about getting into the backs of those glutes, those hamstrings, your lower back maybe. This is a really good one if you ever have back pains. Take a nice deep breath all the way in. Exhale, release your hands to the floor. Walk the feet all the way back to your down facing dog, and just take a moment to pedal out the feet. Open up the calves, the hips, the hamstrings, and the ankles. And then we're going to take right foot outside of right hand into a lizard lunge. Option to keep the knee lifted or grounded on the floor. Inhale to lift and twist with your right hand up towards the ceiling. Exhale as you tap the elbow to the floor. We're just going to do 3 elbow taps on each side. Replace the hand on that 3rd elbow tap, step back to down facing dog, and then switch sides. So left foot comes outside of left hand. Drop the knee or keep it lifted, whichever you prefer. Inhale to lift and twist. Exhale, elbow to the floor. Don't worry if your elbow doesn't touch the floor, just reach to the point where you feel a small stretch. Last one, again 3 on this side. Replace the hand, step back to down facing dog, and then walk the hands all the way to the back of the mat. Find your Uttanasana forward fold, heel toe your feet out to the edges of the mat, find your squat stance. And then inhale as you come all the way up, extended Tadasana, palms together at the top. And as we exhale, come down into your garland pose. So again, Think about keeping the chest lifted. If that means your heels are off the floor and you're here, that's perfectly fine. This is your squat position for today. If you can get all the way down and your heels are still lifted, again, that's fine. Just keep that torso up nice and tall. Take a few pulses in the bottom of this squat. Start opening up those hips. And then when you're ready, exhale, release the hands to the floor. Heel toe the feet back underneath the hips. Find your Uttanasana forward fold. And then walk the hands all the way to the front of the mat. Find your plank position and we'll take a vinyasa. So option to drop the knees if you need to. Exhale as you come all the way down, or knees, chest, chin, low plank. Inhale, press up to cobra. Take a moment or two just to open up the hips, swivel from side to side. And then as you exhale, tuck the toes and press back to down facing dog. Walk the feet all the way in toward the hands. Come into your Uttanasana forward fold at the front of the mat. And then inhale as you come all the way up, extended Tadasana. Exhale, release the hands, and you should be feeling a little bit more warm now. I'm just gonna set my timer. So I will demonstrate the first movement. The first round is strength and stability. So the first movement I'll demonstrate and then we'll jump straight into it. So it's a scap press. You can either do this in a kneeling position or you can come into a plank. So go to wherever you need to go to. The brilliant thing about this class is you can adapt it for your level and abilities. So from here, you're just thinking about keeping the arms straight and then dropping the chest through, squeezing those shoulder blades together, pressing the ground away. So the movement is just in the chest. Your lower back stays exactly the same throughout. So if you're in a plank position, it's the same thing. You're just moving up and down. It's a very small movement. You have 45 seconds of these. I am just going to start the timer now. Put the speaker on so you can hear it. So you should be able to hear the clock beep as well to help you along this. Cool. So you have 10 seconds. So set yourself up on your mats. Either in that kneeling position, you can come forwards into that half plank, or you can come straight up and go. So you're pressing up and down, keeping those arms locked. Just a very small movement. I'll turn this up for you. So you should be able to feel this burning away.
Halfway there.
So you're over halfway now.
Halfway there.
You have just 15 seconds to go. And 10 more seconds. So keep working, keep pressing. See if you can keep squeezing. If you want to, try and hold each position a little longer. And rest. The next movement we've got in this round is a single leg chair pulse. So you're simply going to come into your chair position, lift one heel off the floor so all your weight's in one leg, and you're going to take 5 pulses in one leg and then switch over 5 pulses in the other leg. Obviously, the lower you go, the harder it is. So think about setting yourself up, sit back, find that single leg position and begin to pulse. So keep that tailbone tucked under, brace that core, think about pulling those shoulders back and down away from the ears. Make sure you do equal reps on both sides. So you should begin to feel this burning in your quads and your thighs. It's quite a good one. It's quite simple yet effective. So you're over halfway, so keep going. See if you can do the same number of reps as you've just done. Again, really good.
10 seconds.
And in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, relax. The next one we're going to do is a vinyasa. So you're going to come through from your down facing dog, roll over into high plank, option to drop the knees if you need to. Exhale, come all the way down to low plank or knees, chest, chin, and then press all the way through to cobra before you press back to down facing dog. To make this harder, you can simply come to high plank, hover in low plank, flip the toes and come up to up dog. Yogi's choice. So find the transition that you want. If you need a more easier version, just simply come through to that high plank, drop your knees, exhale as you lower all the way down, chest to floor. Inhale to press up to cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes and press back to down facing dog. If you want to make it harder again, you can add a tempo to that lower, then hold for 3, and then press through up to up dog. Wherever you need to be. So pick the variation that your body needs. You're over halfway. See if you can get another one in for me. And then we are on to our next movement. So in 3, 2, 1, relax. Next movement is a goddess squat. So we're sitting back into this wide stance goddess squat, placing the hands on the knees and then reaching shoulder over to the opposite knee, and then coming back up, exhaling to reach with the other one. Try and keep low whilst you do this. The lower you can go, so try and find that 90-degree angle. So set yourself up, sit back into that goddess squat, and then reach your shoulders over to the opposite knee. You can use your hand against the inside of that knee to press that leg away if you want to add some mobility to it as well. Wherever you need to be. You're just coming up to halfway. Your legs are probably screaming at you. You just got one more movement to go in this round, and then you've got a whole minute's rest, so give it your all. Really good, guys. You just got 10 seconds left. And in 5, 4, and rest. We're going to work our way all the way down to a prone position on the floor now. Take the hands straight out in front of you, about shoulder width apart, forehead to the floor, and you're simply going to cactus the arms out to the side. So squeeze those shoulder blades together and then reach up tall. Exhale to cactus, inhale to reach. So think about bracing that core, squeezing those shoulders, and in 3, 2, 1, begin. So lift your body just slightly off the floor and then squeeze the shoulders back and down. Really keep that active tension throughout the fingers, the hands, the arms. As you do this, keep reaching and pulling back. So sitting upright for those of you, that's the movement you're doing in a prone position. You're over halfway now. Really focus on that squeeze in that cactus position on your shoulder blades. And in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, rest. Well done, guys. So that is your strength and stability section done. The next round is conditioning. So if you need to grab some water, go ahead and grab some water. And then I'll explain the next movement for you. So the next round is your conditioning round. So it's a high intensity cardio burning round. Probably the round that you're going to get the most sweaty in. The first movement of this round is a plank walkout. So we're going to start at the back of the mat. You're going to walk your hands all the way to the front of the mat. Find your high plank hold. Maybe hold for 2 or 3 seconds. And then walk all the way back. Jump and catch in chair. So really focus on that landing. When you jump, sit back in your heels, squeeze your core, create tension in the thighs, inhale to lift, and then you're coming all the way back down, walking out again, hold for 2, 3, 4, and then back. So set yourself up and begin at the back of the mat, walking out to that plank. Hold for 3, 2, 1, and then come all the way back. Jump, catch in chair, hold, and then inhale to lift. And then walk to the front of the mat again. So if you need to make this easier for yourself, you can always do a kneeling plank when you hold it. If you want to make it harder, see if you can do a planching plank. And then come all the way back and catch in chair. Brilliant work, guys. You're over halfway. We've just got 10 seconds to go. And then we are on to the next movement. We're going to stick with the chair theme, but we're going to start with the goddess squat for the next movement. So you're coming into this goddess pose. We're then going to inhale to jump, catch in chair, exhale back to goddess. So you're simply going to jump from one pose to the other. You can step if you prefer. Just make sure you alternate those steps. Set yourself up and go. So finding that goddess squat, arms are cactus out to the side. Jump, catch in chair, jump, catch in goddess. So really brace that core as well. You can feel this in the legs, but really brace the core as well. So keep that tailbone tucked under, draw those ribs down towards your pelvis to brace that core. Really good. With the goddess, try and keep the chest nice and lifted so you've got a nice upright position rather than leaning too far forwards. Really work on using those glutes to squeeze that bum under. You have 10 seconds to go. And then we are on to the next movement. From here, we're just going to do a simple alternating lunge. So come to the front of your mats. You're going to step back, take one knee to the floor, step forwards, and then take the other knee to the floor. So you're just simply going to alternate from leg to leg. With the hands, you can add cactus arms if you wish, or you can keep them lifted, or just leave them by your sides, wherever you need them to be. Just take your time. If you prefer to step forwards, you can. That really confuses me as I never step forwards doing my lunges, I don't think. Or you can mix it up and do a bit of both. So back for the first half, forwards for the last half, whichever you prefer. You're just over halfway. You have 2 more movements left, and then you're getting a whole minute's rest. So you've only got 90 seconds of work after this. So come on guys, give it your all. And in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The next one, we're going back to that down facing dog position, and you're going to bend at the knees, look forwards, jump and come up into chair, replace the hands, jump back. You can step forwards and step back to yogi's choice. So find that down facing dog position, set yourself up, and in 3, 2, 1, bend at the knees, look forwards, pounce, jump, catch in chair, and then jump back. So really keep that core nice and tight throughout this movement. So you're working throughout the whole body and not just the legs and the arms. So remember, if this gets too much, if you're jumping, you can always go back to that step forward, step back, yogi's choice. You have 15 seconds on the clock remaining and just 1 movement left.
10 seconds.
Well done guys, you're doing so well. You're over halfway now.
Rest.
So the final movement of this round, we're going to come back into that down facing dog position. You're going to send one leg high to the sky, 3-legged dogs. Bring it all the way through, find your lunge position, and then inhale to lift and tuck the leg that was behind all the way through into this standing tuck position. Step back again, and then switch sides. So 3-leg dog, high lunge, knee raise, step back and step back again. So find your down facing dog position, find that 3-leg dog, swing the leg through and lift. See if you can keep your balance. So really focus. The faster you go, you'll probably find the harder it becomes to balance. So I guess the challenge for you guys today is to see if you can increase your speed whilst keeping good technique and alignment and balance. So you're over halfway. You're doing so well. 10 seconds to go. And then you have got a whole minute's rest. Whee! And relax, guys. So take on some water if you need to. You've just got 5 more movements to go. 1 round left. So the idea with these classes is they're going to get progressively harder as the weeks go on throughout the course of 6 sessions, but there'll always be some simple movements for you to follow, but the progressive movements will be there for those of you that want to move on or need a bit more of a challenge. So still suitable for all levels, but it becomes progressively harder as you get fitter, hopefully. So the first movement of the next round is a simple crunch. We're going to come onto the floor for our core section, and we're going to simply start with the feet on the floor, and you're simply going to do some tuck crunches. If this is easy for you, you can start to mix it up with maybe keeping the feet. So set yourself up, find that crunch. If it's too easy for you, you could come into boat and tuck, boat and tuck. Whatever you need, but I think the crunches should be enough. If you find it too easy, see if you can put a few more in, or maybe hold in that upright tuck and then hold in the hollow. Hold in the tuck, see how low you can get in that hollow, and then hold in the tuck.
Halfway there.
You're over halfway. Try and keep your body from sinking into that lower back. Try and keep the chest nice and lifted in that tuck position. Really brace the core. You've got just coming up to 5 seconds to go, so keep moving.
Rest.
We're going to move onto our backs for the next movement and come into a glute bridge. So we're going to inhale to lift up into that bridge position and then exhale to lower. Inhale to lift, so see if you can just hold for a count of 2. Squeeze those glutes and then exhale to lower. Inhale to lift, exhale to lower. So if you want to make it harder, you can do a single leg if you want to, or you can do both legs and hold and then do a tempo all the way down. Just keep moving for those 45 seconds. You've got 30 seconds to go. So just keep moving, guys. So really focus on squeezing those glutes, pressing into the floor with those feet and shuffling the shoulders underneath you maybe so you get your hips nice and high. Don't stop here, really reach up high and almost come into a back bend with those hips. This is going to help strengthen your back core as well. So you've got just 5 seconds left. And in 3, 2, 1, we're going to flip it over onto our hands and knees. So option to do this in a kneeling position or a plank position. We're coming into a bird dog. So we're going to take opposite arm out long, opposite leg out long, reaching forwards and back, and then bringing elbow to knee, reaching again, replacing it, and then switching sides. So you can switch sides, you can alternate, or you can just get to halfway doing one side.
Let's go.
For more reps. If you want to do this in a plank position, just try and make sure that your hips do not move. So you need to stay nice and level in that position as you do this. So you really need to brace that core. If you find that your hips are twisting and you've come up into that plank, maybe just come back down to the hands and knees again. You're over halfway. And just focus on really reaching and holding, counting for a count of 2 in that long position, and then crunching and holding for 2 and reaching. So that's another progression between the plank and the kneeling variations. You have 5 seconds left. And in 3, 2, 1, relax. So we're going to come down into a prone position now. Arms go long, legs go long, forehead to the floor. You're going to inhale to lift, arms and legs off the floor, so chest off the floor and thighs off the floor, into locust. Exhale to lower. If this is too much, you can do just chest if you want to, or just legs. Or you can alternate between the two, whichever you prefer. If you find this is too easy, just a simple lift and lower, you could either lift and hold, or you could add a rock into it as well, keeping that arched position. It's called locust, but in functional fitness, you might also call it an arch. So if you're doing functional fitness, try some arch rocks as well to kind of progress the posture or the movement. You've got 13 seconds left on the clock and 1 more movement left of this round before we cool down. And in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to set ourselves up now in down facing dog, and then we're going to come through into a plank hold. So option to just stay here for 45 seconds. See if you can hold that nice solid position. If this is too much, you can always come back to that down facing dog and then roll forwards into that plank position again. High plank is preferable if you can shoot the shoulders forward. So set yourself up. Option to drop the knees if you need to, obviously. If you want to make it harder, find that planching plank. So really shoot the shoulders forwards. If this is too much on your wrists, You can always come down into a forearm plank as well and hold from there. Again, you can do the knee variation of that. So really focus on engaging that core, tucking those ribs down to your pelvis, pulling those shoulder blades apart as well. Careful not to let your shoulders wing. So by winging, you can see here I've probably got my shoulder blades really far out. You want to pull them away and create breadth across your back. You have just over 5 seconds to go. You're doing so well, guys. All of you are holding. Amazing. And relax. Sit back in extended child's pose and just catch your breath for me. If you need to take on any water, then feel free to take on some water. Just take 2 more deep breaths in that extended child's pose position. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. And then staying in this extended position, we're going to take the left hand back towards the knee on the floor, keeping the head down, and then reach over towards the right with the right hand. Find that stretch down the right side of the body as you reach over towards the left with the right hand and find that stretch in your lateral muscles. Take 2 more deep breaths. And then on the next inhale, walk the hand all the way back to center. Take the left hand out long, right hand comes beside the right knee, and then start walking that left hand all the way over to the right. Find the stretch in the left hand side, in the left side of your body. And just take 2 more deep breaths in here for me. From here, you're just going to walk the hands all the way back to center, come up onto your hands and knees and step the left foot forwards, finding that lunge position. So really reach through with the chest. The left foot can be inside or outside of that left hand. Just find that length in your hip flexor. Open it up. And then when you're ready, take your left hand back and see if you can grab your right foot for a quick couch stretch. So bringing the heel towards the bum. If you need to, you can come up just slightly to do that and then reset in that lunge position. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Exhale, release, and we'll switch sides. So right foot comes forwards, left leg goes back. Find that stretch in that left hip flexor. Maybe take a few pulses and then hold. And then reaching with your right hand back to left foot, bringing that heel in towards your glute, maybe pulsing it a few times, and then hold for 3, 2, 1, relax. From here, we're just going to come into a half split position. So bringing that left leg straight, reaching nose towards toes. Take a nice deep breath in, exhale. Inhale to come forwards, take the right leg back, left leg comes forwards, straighten that front leg again and come into that half split position. Inhale to lift and lengthen, exhale, reach that nose towards your toes. So you should feel this in your hamstrings. Exhale, and then inhale to come all the way forwards. We're gonna come onto our bums now and roll onto our backs. So coming all the way down, taking your hands out wide in a T-shaped position, palms facing down. Keep the toes to the floor, but heels are lifted, and you're just simply going to drop the knees from side to side for a few window wipers just to release the lower back and the hips. We're looking at about 5 or 6 rotations on each side, trying to keep those shoulders glued to the floor. So don't worry if your knees don't go all the way over. Last one each side. And then just gently bring your knees into your chest, hug them with both arms. You can rock from side to side, massage your lower back. And then whenever you're ready, just slowly roll all the way over onto your right side and come up to seated. From here, we'll just take one final deep inhale as we lift the hands up above the head, palms together. As we exhale to the forehead, kind thoughts. To the lips, kind words. To the heart, kind feelings. Namaste.